Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're going to explore a really beautiful and, I think, profound metaphor for life. It comes from excerpts of a work called DAYFACE, The Evolution of the Conscious River, and it uses the simple image of water to get at some of life's biggest questions. So, yeah, let's just dive right in.
So, the source kicks things off with this amazing line. It's talking about a character who's listening to a stream, but not just listening to the sound. He's listening to it like a thought is taking shape, as if life itself is trying to say something. And that's really the invitation for us, right? To listen in that same way, patiently, with an open mind, as we explore this whole idea together.
Okay, so the central idea, the main metaphor of this whole thing is the river. It's held up as the perfect symbol for a life in motion, especially when you put it up against the quiet stillness of a lake.
Now, get this, because the distinction it makes here is so important. A lake, it represents potential, our inner depth, everything we could be. But the river, that's when all that potential actually enters the world. It's potential put into action. It's literally the difference between just being and actually doing.
And building on that, the source argues that this doing, this activity, it isn't just a side effect of being alive. No, it's the very signature of existence itself.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The whole idea here is that activity isn't some chore we have to do. It's a joy. It's how we actually connect with the incredible gift of being alive. To be active is to, taste the delight of existence, to feel life flowing through you and from you.
I mean, the contrast here could not be more clear. Stagnation is described as a blocked river, and it even mentions the smell of water left unmoving. Ugh, it's such a powerful negative image. But activity? That's a declaration. Every single thing you do is like shouting out to the universe, I exist, I am here.
But, and this is the crucial bit, it's not just about being busy for the sake of being busy. The point is, when our actions are paired with awareness, with a kind of mindfulness, they totally transform. Simple activity becomes this act of gratitude, a way of saying thank you for the gift of being here at all.
Which, of course, brings us to the thing that makes us uniquely human. You see, a river just flows because of gravity and the laws of nature. But we have the ability to flow with conscious intention. So how do we actually do that? Well, the source breaks it down into these three pretty simple steps. It all starts with awareness of yourself, of your actions. Then, from that awareness, you find meaning. And based on that meaning, you make a deliberate choice about which way your own river is going to flow.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. Water has no choice. It just follows gravity. But we flow by intention. That's both our greatest gift and, let's be honest, our heaviest responsibility. We actually have to choose what we're flowing towards. So, okay, if we're supposed to flow with intention, what should be the source of that intention? Well, the text gives us this really beautiful, hopeful answer. Our own fundamental goodness.
According to this viewpoint, our core nature isn't something that's flawed or broken. It's actually rooted in things like goodness, truth, and beauty. All the ugly stuff, that's seen as something that comes later, like a shadow. It's not who we fundamentally are.
And this is just such a compassionate way to look at our mistakes. We've all been there, right? We have those moments where our water gets cloudy. We say the wrong thing, make a bad choice. But a cloudy moment doesn't mean the whole river is polluted. It's just a temporary state, not who you are forever.
So, the bottom line is this. It is profoundly unfair to define ourselves or anybody else by their worst moments. That's like looking at a river during a rainstorm and declaring that it's just going to be muddy forever. We have to remember the clear water that's still flowing underneath it all.
And to make all this a bit more practical, the source offers this amazing tool, the Conscious River Journal. Imagine just ending each day with these three questions. They're not about what you achieved, but about how you contributed and what your intention was. It's such a simple but powerful way to actually practice flowing consciously.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but it leads us to our final section. Because living this way, flowing with intention towards goodness, it's not easy. It's not passive at all. It takes real, actual courage. Look, life is risky, period. But the idea here is that we shouldn't just be reacting to risks as they come. We should be consciously choosing which values are worth taking a risk for. Deciding to risk something for goodness or for truth, now that is what takes a life from just existing to truly being lived.
We all know this voice, don't we? It's that voice of fear that just holds us back, the one that builds the dam and stops our river from flowing. It's the voice that's always asking, yeah, but what if I try and it all goes wrong?
But then, the text hits us with this powerful counter-question. A character is about to give a journal to a child, and that fear voice says, what if she never writes in it? But then, hope asks, but what if she does? And boom, that one simple shift changes absolutely everything. It moves the focus away from the fear of failure and onto the potential for something wonderful.
And this is just a perfect metaphor for the danger of playing it too safe, isn't it? Building a dam around your life might feel secure, might feel peaceful for a little while, but eventually the water just stagnates. Growth stops. To be a conscious river means you have to accept the flow, risks and all.
And we end on this profound, maybe a little mysterious thought. It suggests that all our conscious actions, all those choices we make to flow with intention, they have a meaning that echoes way beyond just the here and now. So it kind of leaves us with a final question. If every single moment matters for eternity, how are you going to choose to flow?